Davenport Auto Park, you drive change because a portion of every sale goes to support a local nonprofit that you choose. So whether you buy a new Honda or GMC or a certified pre-owned vehicle, you're not just getting a great vehicle, you're giving back to your community. Ready to make a difference? Visit Davenport Auto Park online or stop by today at 600 English Road, Rocky Mount. Your next car can change lives. Davenport Auto Park, your dealership for life.
Coming to you almost live from the Herbert I. Greenberg Studios at WHIG, it's Up Late with Sam Bass.
Thank you, Scott Smith, and welcome back to Up Late with Sam Bass, the only show where the lights are bright and the guests are brighter than the host, with a few exceptions, but don't worry, I'm not going to name names. John Check. Scott Smith, thank you. You, by the way, are a legend. You know what we ought to do, Jamie? We ought to have Scott come out and be a guest host or a sidekick. Can we do that? Not a guest host. There's only one me. But a sidekick. Think about that. So tonight's show is brought to you from the folks who keep the community running strong. ServPro of Rocky Mount and Tarboro, more than restoration experts, they're neighbors you can count on. Whether you're dealing with water damage, fire cleanup, mold cleanup, they're the team that helps get your life back on track. I'm going to tell you, the folks over there are great. I work with them every day. It is a great team. They will make it like it never even happened. And guess what? I got you. Also, Phil's Music Exchange of Wilson, the heartbeat of local music lovers. From stereo equipment to accessories, there's rare video gems you can't find anywhere else. Phil's is the place to go. So swing by and support a true hometown staple. Also, don't forget this, the Wilson Record Show is Saturday, March 14th, starting at 10 a.m. The location is the Connect Church in Wilson. It is a building, it's not in the church, there's a little small building behind the church. I go by there every time. And every time I leave, and I'm a little thin on the hip, if you know what I mean. So make sure you put that on your schedule to go to Phil's. And drum roll, Robbie. Drum roll, please. A big welcome to our brand new presenting sponsor, Davenport Auto Park, right here in Rocky Mount, just off Winston Avenue, across from the hospital. Wonderful people over there. I'm not just saying that because I used to work there. Jamie works there now, or because the voice of Up Late with Sam Bass, Scott Smith, works there too. I'm not saying it because of that. I will say whether you're hunting for a new ride or just need honest, reliable service, for the one you've got, Davenport will take great care of you. They really do keep this community running. And speaking of keeping the community running and rolling, tonight's guest is the Executive Director of the United Way Tar River Region, Ginny Mohrbutter. Sit down, sit down. She's here to talk community, compassion, and how small acts can lead to big change. But first, I want to talk about this winter weather we've been having. I'm sure everybody heard about saw it on TV, the monks walking from Texas to Washington, D.C. They trekked through Raleigh. Everybody was following that great story. Walking through the ice and the snow. I mean, I don't get it. But, you know, a lot of people probably didn't hear about the other walk that was going on. This was not publicized. This was one called The Drunks Out Walking for Booze. Did you hear about that one? Not as well known, but we do have a little video clip of them making their trek for allocated bourbon across Wilson County, right in the snow and the ice. Robbie, roll the clip. Hey, that guy at the end looked real familiar. Okay, so anyway, before we bring out tonight's guest and get inspired to do some good, we need to warm up with a little fun. Or some might generously describe it as a little pure, unfiltered nonsense. Keep in mind, folks, I don't write this material. I contribute, but I don't write it all. That's right, it's time for tonight's top 5 list. And in honor of our special guest tonight, we proudly present the top 5 things that rhyme with Mohrbutter. Spelled M-O-H-R-B-U-T-T-E-R. And I'm going to get to the root of that name. I think I know the answer. So here they are, the top 5 things that rhyme with Mohrbutter. Door shutter, as in the things that slams in my face every time I try to sell this show to a major network. It's like a don't call us, we'll call you kind of deal. They are missing out. Watch out. Number 4. Floor clutter. In my case, this usually involves my dog's toys, cigar wrappers, corks, and old top 5 cards. Number 3, Mohrbutter, spelled differently, M-O-R-E. Okay, so this is low-hanging fruit. But unlike fruit, it's much more useful as a lubricant. What? I'm talking about things like greasing pans and things like that. What did you think I meant? You people get your minds out of the gutter. Number 2, store cutter. Mohrbutter store cutter. This is that one person who pretends not to see the line at Phil's Music Exchange. Jamie, why do I get a feeling this might be you? And the number 1 words, terms, whatever it is, that rhyme with Mohrbutter. This is my favorite. Well, maybe not. I'm always afraid to say this one. Sore udder. This is what any cow in my proximity would have if it produced bourbon instead of milk. That's actually kind of gross. We'll be right back with Ginny Mohrbutter. Sit tight.
From Davenport Auto Park, you drive change because a portion of every sale goes to support a local nonprofit that you choose. So whether you buy a new Honda or GMC or a certified pre-owned vehicle, you're not just getting a great vehicle, you're giving back to your community. Ready to make a difference? Visit Davenport Auto Park online or stop by today at 600 English Road, Rocky Mount. Your next car can change lives. Davenport Auto Park, your dealership for life.
Phil's Music Exchange of Wilson offers thousands of vinyl LPs, CDs, cassettes, 8 tracks. They even have reel-to-reels, DVDs, Blu-rays, VHS, video games, an abundance of music for the music lover. Check them out today. Phil's Music Exchange in Tarboro, 207 West Tarboro Street, downtown Wilson, or philsmusicexchange.com.
I never thought this would happen.
Never thought this would happen.
I never thought this would happen.
We got you.
We got you.
We got you.
When the unexpected comes calling, call the one team prepared for what no one can predict.
We got you.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
As promised, Ginny Mohrbutter is here, ladies and gentlemen. Again, sit down. Thank you so much for joining us.
Happy to be here, Sam.
It's great to see you, as usual.
Look, you've told me about this show for a long time. I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad to have you.
Yeah.
Before we get into anything serious, I want to ask you this. How annoyed are you with our top 5 tonight? Do people generally give you grief about your name? Or is it just me?
Well, I loved it. I thought the top 5 was fabulous. So
Good.
Kudos to the team and to you.
Thank you.
People love the name Mohrbutter. I mean, I think they love it, but I remember when I first met my husband and he said his last name was Mohrbutter and I thought he was making it up. I said, that cannot be your last name, but it is. So I roll with it. I say to people, you know, I'm like, you know, on a roll, you know, Mohrbutter on a roll. And yeah, people like to.
On a roll.
And the fun part is people that have mixed it up through the years, like honey butter or, you know, lots of ways you can pronounce it. So yeah, people do like to have fun with it.
So you thought he was giving you a fake name?
I did.
I've never done that ever with a female.
Well, and he wasn't, but I'd never heard Mohrbutter. So I thought, how can that actually be his name? But it is.
He's Canadian, is that correct?
He is. He's originally from Canada.
Okay.
He's a Can-Am person now, Canadian American.
Very good.
So, yeah. And when I first heard it, I thought Mohrbutter, and it's actually a Danish name.
Okay. So how did you end up meeting Trent?
So I had lived on the island of Guam teaching after I finished at UNC Chapel Hill.
Okay.
Met a group of Canadians that I became close friends with, and I went to visit them in Vancouver, and that's where Trent is from. So I was introduced to him by the friends that I went to visit, and it just, everything after that, it's, you know, we just celebrated our 27th wedding anniversary on Valentine's Day.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, so that was exciting. Yeah.
So I got a photo we're going to throw up here of you two.
Okay.
It kind of looks like a Grease Top Gun audition, but you're telling me that wasn't a Grease audition. You kind of look like, you know, Sandy from Grease in that picture.
Well, and I have been Sandy before at Halloween, but this was a Halloween costume, and we wore Top Gun. So obviously the Tom Cruise character, and then the Kelly Gillis, I think her name is. So that's what we were, and people knew exactly who we were. It was surprising. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, we had a real Top Gun sitting in that very chair.
Ah, interesting.
Shout out Admiral Mike.
Ooh, awesome. Yeah, fun.
So, is there any favorite tradition or routines you guys do? I know you go to the beach, and we'll get to that in a minute.
Sure. Oh gosh, we probably have a lot of traditions that we do. Well, one of the traditions is we host every holiday at the Mohrbutter house. Family members, everybody comes to our house for all the big holidays, and we like to have a good time doing that.
Yeah.
Involves some beverages and some good food, which is always nice.
Always good.
Yeah.
So, I know you got a place at the beach, and we're beach neighbors, and she never talks to me down there. I walk by and the blinds get closed. Just kidding. She's not that way. She's really nice. So, when you're at the beach, do you have a favorite beach day ritual? Maybe a morning walk on the most dangerous pier at the beach? And I'm going to explain that. Or something else to set the tone. Their pier has no rails. It's crazy because the pier I go to has rails, but theirs is like walking a wide tightrope. So if you go out there swerving a little bit, you might get in trouble.
And you've brought that up, but I don't find it scary. So
Okay.
I don't know. It looks
from
scary.
afar.
It looks
I've
scary.
never had the fortune of being on it.
Well, and let me just give a backdrop to this. My husband and I years ago found this house at the beach, and it was a total fixer-upper. I think you knew what it looked like. So we did all the work ourselves so that we can use it as a rental at an Airbnb. So oftentimes when I'm at the beach, we're working to get the house ready for the next guests that come in. So in full defense of me, it was not you if I don't say hello. I'm focused on getting that house ready.
She's out there washing sheets and stuff. I've seen you.
But I will say, probably our ritual, we love to bike in our neighborhood. You know, we have a really friendly neighborhood for biking, and we love to do that. And a good cup of coffee on the screened-in porch is awesome.
You guys have a great view where you're at.
We do. We have a really nice view. And the house just sat there for a long time, as you probably know. And no one wanted to touch it because it needed so much work. So it was fun for us. We both are handy, and we both don't mind rolling our sleeves up to make it happen. So that's really how it came to be. But you know, it's so easy to have good rituals down at the beach.
Yeah.
It's just such a good place to go.
So what do you bring back? When you come back from the beach, you come back to Rocky Mountain. I bring back sand stuck to me everywhere. What do you bring back from the beach that gets you through the week at Rocky Mountain?
Oh my gosh, what do I bring back? Yeah, maybe a little sand, maybe a little ocean breeze in my hair. You know, I think that's my favorite thing about the beach is when you are there, you know you're there.
Right.
You can smell it, you can
Totally
taste
different.
it, you can hear it. Even if you're not right on the beach, you can still hear it.
Yeah.
And that memory of that kind of keeps me going. And I
It
have
kind
to
of chills you out.
It does. I mean, how can you not relax when you're down there? It's just a good spot to be.
I agree.
That's for sure.
100%.
We have a lot of folks from the neighborhood around us, around Rocky Mount, that are near us.
A lot of folks.
A lot of folks, but it's a nice getaway.
So speaking of Rocky Mountain, I know you don't like to talk about yourself, but you won last year's Chamber's Most Distinguished Citizen.
I did.
And I know your reign has just ended to Bill Lanus.
I was so happy to pass the torch by introducing him at the Chamber annual meeting this year. That was fun for me to do.
When she won, she had like the beauty contest that says
I know.
Most Distinguished Citizen.
I
I'm
know.
just kidding. She didn't have
I
one.
didn't get one. I didn't get
We
one.
probably should have done that.
But Sam, I have to say that's a collective effort of a lot of other people. I mean, I'm the person who is the staff leader of the United Way, but there's so many people who make all that happen.
I can
and
appreciate that.
I tried
But
to.
You know, you're the one though. Everybody knows her and loves her. So, so is there a favorite local event or thing you like to go to? Or is it just the ones that you go to where you're winning your multiple awards?
You're so funny. I mean, I like a lot. We have so many good local events. We have a lot of good local restaurants to go to. I don't know if there's one particular. I love to go to the Dunn Center and see shows. We've seen a number of the shows out there. We were supposed to go see a show that's called Who's Live Anyway, kind of a takeoff of
Did they ever do that?
They didn't. The inclement weather. It didn't happen.
I kept seeing that advertised.
Yeah.
Maybe
and
they'll reschedule.
Because I love Whose Line Is It
That's a great
Anyway?
show.
It's so, and after work to sit down and watch that is so. Just sit there and laugh.
That's one of the
just
few
laugh.
shows I can sit and look at and really laugh.
Yes, it just kind of belly laugh. But you know, I don't know if there's any one thing particular, but I think we've got so many great things happening around this community that sometimes people don't even know it's happening. You know, any of the shows that are happening, going to the Rocky Mountain Mills, there's tons of good things to do around this area. Yeah.
I agree. So I want to shift gears a minute and just talk about your work at United Way.
How much time do we have? I'm kidding.
Not a whole lot.
I'm kidding.
What is one challenge that the United Way is facing right now that you wish more people understood?
That is a great question, because I don't know if folks have seen or heard, but you know, every year we have our fundraising campaign that we have in the community. That money gets raised and it goes out across 35 different programs in the community, does so much good work across a bunch of different areas that are quality of life areas. Well, we have a shortfall this year, and in my career, I'm in my 20th year now with United Way.
Wow.
This is the biggest shortfall that I've ever seen. So we've put a plea out to the community, to our business partners, to individuals, to a whole, you know, anybody that wants to support our efforts. And we were about 114 short late last week, and now we're at about 60,000. So we've been able we're getting there. So I just appreciate everybody that has responded to it, because it's dollars, but it's people's lives, because all of these programs are supporting quality of life issues, feeding programs, housing programs, senior programs, a lot of youth programs, education programs, health programs, and these are programs that people depend on. So I go to bed at night and struggle with that, because I feel the weight of that. And I'm just grateful when our community responds when we're kind of down with our campaign.
Folks, give money to the United Way. That is the bottom line.
Absolutely.
This lady is losing sleep over it.
And we make it easy, Sam. People can go to our website. We've got QR codes. I mean, we try to make it easy for folks. But
What's the website?
UnitedWayTRR.org.
Okay.
And they can go there and they can make a donation real easily through that.
Do it.
Please do. Well, yeah, but thanks for asking that. It's a great question.
You're welcome. So was there a moment in your career where you thought, yes, this is exactly what I'm meant to do? For me, this moment right now is exactly what I'm meant to do.
Woohoo! Cheers. I'll drink my water. You know, Sam, I probably, gosh, did I have one moment? I have a lot of moments where I feel that. I feel like I'm in a role that I'm meant to be in. And I feel like when people say to me, you know what, Ginny, this job fits you well. Like, you know, you're passionate about it, you love the community, which I feel like I do. I always feel like when people say that, when other people notice that, because, you know, sometimes it's hard to be reflective on yourself.
Right.
But I will say when I'm talking to someone who needs something in the office. I mean, Sam, it's not uncommon that someone calls or comes to the United Way and they need housing, they need food, they need shelter, they need daycare, whatever the case is. And to be able to help people, that's a pretty rewarding feeling, and to know you've made a difference in that way. So when I have those moments, I know I'm in the right place.
That's great. So you've worn a lot of hats over the years. What part of your work right now is the most meaningful? I know it's just helping people in general.
Right, right.
Is there any one thing in particular?
Well, we've just embarked on something not new, but it is a gap in the community we have found. United Way and I personally have tried to help lead the Twin County Homelessness Coalition for a number of years, but we've seen the numbers uptick in people needing affordable housing and folks that are homeless. So we have secured some outside grants to have a homelessness navigator to be in the United Way office, to work, meet our families where they are, and to really work closely with our families so that, and individuals that need housing, because what we know is systems are complicated and sometimes people need like almost a case manager to help them. And so that, I mean, that's not more meaningful than other things, but that is new. And it's something that we need, and we know there's a gap for it. We have a program called 211 that we support through United Way. It's you just dial 211 and you get a live operator 24/7, 365 days a year. Not only is it great that it provides resources to people, but it tracks all the data. So I was looking at the data, reporting it to the United Way board recently, and do you know that almost 50% of the calls that are coming in are for either shelter, housing, or food? So I talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you can't have your basic needs met, how do you move on to the higher levels to get a good job and, you know, make sure you can provide for your family? So that's when I wear a hat and I think about that, when I know that we can make sure basic needs are met, which they should always be, but when we can do that as a United Way and as a community, that's really one of, and the homelessness program kind of ties into all that.
Well, it's great work that you do, and it's very important work.
Thank you. I agree. I agree.
So I want to talk about, we'll switch gears a little bit again.
Okay.
Let's talk about something important.
What's that?
Your dogs.
Oh, my dogs.
What are their names? What are their personalities? And Penny, my dog, wanted to ask, how do they feel about squirrels?
I know Penny. I've seen Penny. Well, my dogs are certainly loves of my life, as you probably know. So 3 of them. Lulu is a little terrier. Finn is a terrier Chihuahua mix. And Harper is our foster fail that we recently adopted because we were fostering her and we did not want to give her back. And she is, she's a larger dog. She's like a mix of a whole bunch of things. Hound and a few other breeds in there. So we have to kind of keep our eye on her because she likes to scale the fence a lot. Lulu's the matriarch of the family. Finn's the little bit of gets in there and revs things up, and Harper's just wide open. So they're wonderful, and they love to chase a squirrel. There's squirrel, squirrel, squirrel.
My dog's caught a few, and she's pretty good. She almost got one today, and
Really?
she's a little age on her.
She can catch a squirrel. That's pretty good.
Yeah, she's 2-0 against the squirrels. She's almost 3-0 today. So and I will tell you, when I walk by Jenny's place at the beach, her dogs completely attack me from the porch.
Oh, we have to keep them up there so
Yeah.
that they won't come running down it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they are. They're, you know, they keep us active too. I will say, you know, when you have dogs, you get out and walk
Right.
them. You get out and spend time with them. You toss the ball with them. So it's, you know, sometimes when you have long days, it's a wonderful way to relax.
I've heard some people say the only exercise they get is when they walk with their dog.
I bet.
So-
I bet. And the dog appreciates it too.
So when you're not working, where does your time and energy naturally go to?
Oh, that's a great question.
You like to cook or anything like that?
I do like to cook, and look, if my husband were here, he'd say I clean all the time. I like to clean, and I know that sounds a little unusual. Having the dogs, I vacuum and clean a lot, and it's therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
But definitely, I cook. He probably cooks more than I do. We do a lot of outdoor stuff, biking, kayaking, you know, doing that kind of stuff. And I mentioned that we like to do projects. We're very project focused around the home and getting things done like that. And we like to do kind of our own stuff. So that's kind of fun for me.
Well, going back quickly, the project on your pier at the beach. I know I talk about the pier at the beach. Mm-hmm. Tell me about what Trent did with a couple of his buddies.
So part of the reason when we bought this house, no one probably wanted to buy it is the middle of the pier was gone, completely gone. And one of the storms years ago had knocked it out. So Trent and 5 of his buddies, they sank or planted the pylons to build it back. They rented a air sander, so you push it down into the sand, it pushes the sand out, and you slowly you can sink the pylon, whatever it's called. And then they went back and built everything back. So he rebuilt the entire thing himself with his 5 friends.
That is so impressive.
I agree. I watched
is he an
them.
engineer?
He's not, but he could absolutely be an engineer. He has his doctorate in education, but
Okay.
his undergraduate stuff is in math. So he's a smart cookie, I must say.
I'm not going to tackle any projects like that.
And that's just the beginning of what he's done. I mean, he says that I'm the talent and he's the labor. Because I'll say, honey, let's do, you know, the honey-do list that everybody talks about. I'll say, honey, let's do this project, and he'll say, okay, and then I, you know, come up with all the ideas, and then he executes them.
Okay. So you're the brains behind it.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't think so, but that's oftentimes what he says. So but we like doing that kind of stuff.
So I want to ask you another thing.
Okay.
For something purely fun that people might not expect that you do, like sing karaoke, anything, don't worry, I won't tell anybody about it. It'll be our secret.
Well, I have been in a karaoke place. Singing's probably not my forte. I've participated some. Gosh, something that, you know, that's a tough one, Sam. I mean, I love to go and, you know, we entertain a lot. I'm social. I mean, I think people probably can tell from my personality. We're in 2 supper clubs, so we go to supper clubs and host supper clubs a lot. Yeah, you know, I love to go on cruises. That's one of my favorite things to do.
I was
when I
actually in a
can.
supper club, and it was our time to host, and we rented a karaoke machine.
Did you? I'm
And
impressed.
that kind of raised the bar in the supper club. Everybody was like, we're never going to have this much fun
I'm
again.
impressed.
And,
We've done the fake microphones and had it, you know, on the TV screen.
Yeah.
But never have we rented the karaoke machine.
Well, nowadays
That's taking
you
it to
can-
the next
you can
level.
Do it. You can go to YouTube and find all the
Yeah.
songs and do it that way. But,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, I'm not the karaoke singer, but anybody is with enough encouragement.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. I mean, I would possibly do it at certain times, but it'd be tough to do that right now.
Yeah, I get you. So I've got a picture here we're going to put up. I want you to tell me about it.
Sure. Well, that's one of my favorite pictures that I have. That's my parents. A lot of folks know my dad. He was Larry Worsley. He played basketball at NC State in the 60s, and he won Go Pack. I went to UNC
Carolina
Chapel.
graduate.
I went to UNC Chapel Hill. He probably didn't like it very much, but he didn't say too much about it. But that picture is the night my dad won the Everett N. Case Award, and that's my mom with him. They got married young. And that picture is when he won the award. So the neat thing about it is it was the game when they played Duke University. Dad scored over 30 points to help them win the ACC tournament, and it's named Everett N. Case because that was the coach of NC State, and my dad was the only one to receive the award from Everett N. Case directly.
Very cool.
Yeah, so a lot of folks know Dad because of his basketball career at NC State and his winning the Everett N. Case Award. And that's the MVP of the ACC tournament for folks who don't know that. Yeah,
that is a very cool story, and I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Absolutely. It's close to my heart.
Jenny, I want to thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure.
And I want to give one more plea to the viewers out there. Donate money to the United Way. They're doing great things in this area. I can tell you that personally. I know for a fact some of the stuff they've done. So make sure. Maybe Robbie can put that link or the QR up on the screen. You can go in there and donate.
That would be wonderful. Thank you, Sam.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me. This has been really fun. And
it's been great. Maybe we'll have you back sometime.
Hey, I'll be ready anytime.
Okay. We'll be right back. Hey, I want to thank my special guest, Ginny Mohrbutter, for coming tonight. Great discussion. Very important stuff going on at United Way. Make sure you support them. So remember, every Thursday night at 10, Saturday night at 10, Up Late with Sam Bass. Don't miss it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.
When you buy a new or used vehicle from Davenport Auto Park, you drive change because a portion of every sale goes to support a local nonprofit that you choose. So whether you buy a new Honda or GMC or a certified pre-owned vehicle, you're not just getting a great vehicle, you're giving back to your community. Ready to make a difference? Visit Davenport Auto Park online or stop by today at 600 English Road, Rocky Mount. Your next car can change lives. Davenport Auto Park, your dealership for life.